Hello everyone. Prostation to the Lineage Masters and the Triple Gems. Um, we were, starting to go through the second chapter of the book written by Acharya Santideva. And the name of the chapter was The Confession of Sin. Okay, so we had already completed the stanzas from stanza 1 to 27, and we will be starting from 28 too, and I will try to finish all the stanzas of this chapter today. So there are altogether 66 stanzas in this chapter, and we have already completed the first 27 stanzas. Okay, so before going to the explanation of the stanzas, let's talk about briefly about the sin. What does sin means in Buddhism? Okay, so in Buddhism, sin means any act of body, speech, and mind which has capacity to produce suffering in the future. Okay, so the sins are done by three doors. We say three doors, three dwar, which is body, speech, and mind. Okay, so bodily, if we kill someone, or if we do physical violence, or if we steal someone's property, or take someone's some other people's things without a permission, or if we do sexual misconducts with multiple partners, or sexually abusing your own partner also, you know are all are grouped into the sin or non-virtuous deeds done by the body. And there are four non-virtuous deeds which can be done by speech, which are lying. Number two is doing dividing people through telling so many things. I mean, dividing people. And then third one is using the harsh words, insulting other people verbally, hurting other people verbally. And the fourth one is gossip. You just talking rubbish, on killing your time, gossiping about other people's. So these are the non-virtuous deeds that can be done by the mind. And the third one is that can be done by the speech. And the third one, which is done by mind, uh, are one is coveting, like you are making plan to steal the property of other people. You haven't acted on it verbally and physically, but you are in your mind, you are making plans, so that's coveting. And then the another one is you harboring malice in your mind, cursing other people, wishing bad luck for other people's. Is the second type of the non-virtuous deeds that can be done by mind. And then the third one is not believing in cause and effect. Okay, so the main one, you can make the list. This is called the having wrong view. Okay, so you can keep on adding things in this wrong view, but the main root cause that will produce other branches um, is that not believing in cause and effect. So if you don't believe in cause and effect, you will do anything you want, because you are not scared of the result of your act, and you won't believe in the past, you won't believe in future, and you will think that whatever we have is this body and this life, so you can do anything to please yourself, as well as to favor those who are your so-called loved one, and to make them happy. You can do any acts to hurt another beings, which you label as stranger or enemy. So these are the non-virtuous deeds, which are, if you count, there are 10, and which can be done by body, speech, and mind. Okay, so the effect or result of these non-virtuous deeds are taking birth in those type of realms where you keep on experiencing suffering of body and mind. Okay, initially you might think that you are happy by lying other people or stealing other properties, but at the end, the result of those act is suffering. Okay, so and also um, you commit this type of negative deeds towards another person. Okay, so when that person is someone who has done good thing to you, okay, just for example your dad and moms. Okay, if you commit this type of non-virtuous deeds to our own parents or three ratnas, Buddha, Dharma, or Sangha, or bodhisattvas, then the severity or intensity of your suffering as well as duration of that suffering will go on increasing depending upon towards whom this type of non-virtuous deeds were committed. Okay, and also while you committing this type of virtuous deed, how extreme intention was there, whether you were angry or whether you were happy or whether you were ignorant, what was the intensity of that anger. What is that intensity of your desire was there. Depending upon that, the result will also become more severe, and the duration of the suffering you will have to bear in the future will also become so large that at one point you will start thinking, oh, this type of suffering is permanent. There's no way out of this suffering. Okay, so severity of the suffering which you do because of committing suffering, severity of the suffering which you will be experiencing in the future, as well as duration of that suffering which you will be experiencing in the future, will depend upon the intensity of your intention or motivation behind doing that non-virtuous deed, as well as towards whom that non-virtuous deed was committed, and how often you did that repeated that non-virtuous deed. These all will decide how severe the effect of your action will be, and how long that pain you will be experiencing in the future will be decided by these three things. Okay, so these are the different types of non-virtuous deed, and how the experience will be is experience intensity of the experience as well as duration of the experience will be increased. um, okay, so this is all about the sin and sorry, non-virtuous deed, which Acharya Santideva has called as pap, and when we translate it in English, then it becomes sin. But other religion also talk about sin, but there is difference between the sin that is said in Buddhism is different than the other religion. So we in Buddhism, any act which has potential to produce negative result or suffering in the future is called as sin. Also, so we can say it as non-virtuous deeds. Okay, so non-virtuous deed is same as saying sin. Okay, and this chapter is all about confessing own sin, or the negative deeds you did in the past to the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Okay, so in while we confess our non-virtue, or the confess or while we confess our sin, then there should be three parts involved there. One is that you know about you know about what is the future result that will be produced by the action you have done in past or present also. So after knowing that, you are so fearful of it that that you are regretting, or regretting about the effect or the result you will be experiencing in the future. So this should be one part which is called fear in that regret. Okay, and then second is that you should um, make commitment not to repeat it. And the third part is that you should take refuge in the enlightened beings, so that you can come out of suffering, of future suffering. So these three parts should be there while you are confessing any sin in front of the enlightened beings. Okay, so Acharya Santideva has also followed this pattern, which we will see while going through all these stanzas. That he is fearful of, he knows he has done, he has committed negative deed in the past. He knows what is the result of uh, those um, those negative deeds. And when we say knows, it means not only intellectual knowing, but experiencing those results through meditation. Okay, then only genuine fear will arise from inside, and then genuine commitment to get, I mean, stay away from those type of negative deeds in the future will come. Okay, so we will see that Acharya Samdeva, having known the experience of those negativity, is becoming fearful, and then he is regretting of those negativity or negative activities he committed in the past, as well as he's making sure that he won't repeat those things in the future, as well as he is taking uh, going for the refuge, okay, to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. So we can see this pattern in this chapter also. Okay, and it comes in every, if you follow any guru or any type of authentic Buddhist scripture, then you will find that they all are following this pattern. Okay, some are doing it very elaborate way, which Acharya Santideva is doing in this book, and some are like, they are called three Skanda Sutras. I think some people have translated it as three hips. Okay, where you recite the name of the 35 Buddhas, and then you confess about your sin, and then you rejoice all the good deeds done by everyone's. Um, that sutra is called the Three Skanda Sutra, and I think it is translated as three aggregates or three hips. Okay, so in those also similar pattern, you can see that in that sutra also you can see the similar patterns, where you take refuge in the enlightened beings, and then you confess your sins, becoming fearful of the result. You confess, and then you say that you won't repeat those type of negative deed in the future. Okay, so you can see any authentic in this way also, you can judge any scripts, or any guru is authentic or not, by trying to find out if they are following same pattern or not, because most of the gurus who follow, um, they follow the pattern already established by the earlier gurus. Okay, they don't change this pattern. They might change the wordings, but they don't change the pattern. Okay, so we can find this type of pattern um, of confessing in almost all um, scriptures, authentic Buddhist scriptures. Plus, before going to the stanzas, explanation of stanza, I also want to remind that I also talked about in the previous video also, that in order to pay homage, right type of homage, we call samyak puja. Okay, right. In order to homage correctly the three ratnas, you have to have the prayers which has 7 limbs. Okay, so we saw that in stanza, I mean, actually in chapter 1 also, right from the chapter 1, he was praising about the bodhicitta and bodhisattvas. Okay, so those that praising becomes one part of that, one limb of that 7 limb prayer. And then second one is like worshipping, offering different things to the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. So Acharya Santideva has done this second part more in more elaborate way in the stanza of this chapter, from stanza 1 to stanza 27. Okay, so after that, then only the third limb comes, which is called confession of sin, or the non-virtuous deed which you might have committed in the in the past life. Okay, so let's start with the confession of sin. So actual confession of the sin is starting from here. So in stanza 28, he's saying that, in this world, anadim iti sansare, in this world which do not have beginning, okay, in this life as well as in other lives too, whatever type of non-virtuous deed I might have committed, okay, not only committed but cause other people to commit. So there's one more thing I didn't say before. Let me say one more thing. Let me add one more thing before we proceed to these stanzas. So the non-virtuous deed, if you commit yourself, you should bear, definitely you will be bearing the result of that non-virtuous deed. Plus, if you make other people or force other people to do negative, non-virtuous deeds, then that the effect of, you should bear the effect of that result too. Okay, that negative virtuous deed which you force other people to do. Okay, and then third one is like, if someone is doing non-virtuous deeds and then you are rejoicing that, so effect of that non-virtuous deeds which you are rejoicing, you will have to bear the result of that also. So not only the non-virtuous deed you have committed in the past, plus any non-virtuous deed you force other people to do, plus any non-virtuous deeds you rejoiced, done by others but you rejoiced it. So these three type of non-virtuous deed, effect of these three type of non-virtuous deeds, you will have to bear in the future. So Acharya Santideva is saying same thing in stanza 28 as well as stanza 29. So he says that whatever negative type of deeds I have committed in the past, in this world which do not have beginning, and as well as whatever non-virtuous deed I had um, told other people to commit, like animal. Okay, and then whatever non-virtuous deed done by others, I rejoiced, I might have rejoiced. Okay, I confess all those non-virtuous deeds uh, in front of you. That's what is the meaning of stanza 28 and 29. Okay, now he is really remorseful of whatever negativity he committed, or whatever negativity he, you know force other to commit, as well as whatever negativity he rejoiced. He is remorseful because he now knows what is the effect of those negativity. So he is fearful of that effect. That's why, out of distress and remorse, he is regretting those negativity, and then he is confessing those non-virtual deeds in front of the enlightened beings. Okay. So stanza 30, now he is recounting what are the negative deeds, more heinous type of negative deeds. There are 5 type of more heinous negative deeds, which are like um, killing arahat, killing bodhisattva, killing own parents, okay, and then dividing the sangha, and then making Buddha bleed. Okay, so Acharya Santipa Seva says, whatever insult, out of arrogance, I was um, targeted towards the triple gems. Okay, let me correct this. There's something wrong here. Okay, whatever wrongs might have been done by me out of arrogance toward triple gems, or parents, or the teachers, or any other beings through body, speech, and mind, I confess, whatever dreadful type of non-virtuous deed was conduct or was committed by me or done by me. um, I confess all of those. That is what Acharya Santideva is saying in stanza 30 and 31. Okay, um, so he is accepting that he has, he is full of ignorance, and he has been full of wickedness, and he has many faults because he is ignorant. He's out of ignorance, anger, and attachment. He might have done many dreadful type of, or he has done many dreadful type of non-virtuous deeds. Those all, especially towards, targeted towards triple gems, on parents, teachers, as well as other beings who were kind towards me. I confess all those non-virtuous deed in front of you. So that is the gist of these four stanzas here. Okay. Now let's go to the next stanzas. Now, after confessing them, he is wondering, he's anxious, that how will I get out from these non the result of, or effect of these non virtues. Okay, in stanzas 32, he says that how will I get out of these non virtuous deeds? May I not die soon without, nullifying or diminishing the result of that negative deeds which I collected or accumulated in the past. Okay, that's what he's saying in stanza 32. And then again in stanza 33, he's really distressed, and he's saying that how do I escape out of this, negative deeds, or this sin? Please rescue me immediately. And then he's saying, may I not die, um, you know may the death doesn't not come quickly until all of my sins are destroyed, because he knows that if he dies now, he has accumulated only negativity, but he hasn't accumulated any positivity. So result of those negativity is like you will definitely take birth in the lower one of the three lower realms, which are um, hell beings realm, hungry ghost realm, and animal realm. So once you are once you take birth in those realms, you are like, you like falling from the cliff. You just keep on falling down. There's getting out of those realm becomes very difficult. Okay, so he is now very distressed, and then thinking that, if I die now, then I will be doomed forever. Forever. But there is no such thing doomed for forever in Buddhism, because nothing is permanent in Buddhism. Even the suffering of the hell realms and all those low realms are not permanent. But while you are experiencing those realms, pain of those realms, then it feels like this pain, the pain, especially the pain of suffering of the hungry ghost hell realm, is so intense, as well as the duration feels so long that, like this, you feel like, okay, this is never ending suffering. Okay, even here, if you go through suffering, if the suffering comes one at a time, another one, then you feel like, oh, people commit, that's why people commit suicide. because they don't see the way out. So same thing happens in if your mind goes in the low realm. So that is why Acharya Shantideva is scared, very scared, and then he's saying, "May I not die, or may the death doesn't come quickly, until my sins are completely destroyed." Okay, in stanza 32 and 33, he's really distressed of the death of the negative result he has accumulated in the past, as well as the death, because he is sure that when he dies, he will go to the hell or Holy Ghost realm or animal realms. That is why he's saying he is, taking refuge and requesting. We'll see that he will be requesting in coming stanzas that to the enlightened beings to rescue him. Okay, so in this realm, he's saying, how will I get out of this mess? Basically, he's saying that. Okay, and then he's in 34. He's talking about the death. The messenger of the death or the Lord of death won't see whether you have finished your work or not. Okay, or that death will not see whether you are healthy or unhealthy. Okay, so death, he is labeling death as a very untrustworthy, because it doesn't see if you have finished your work or not. It doesn't see whether you are healthy or not. It will just come suddenly, and you will die. So it won't wait for you until you get old, okay, or until you get sick. Okay, it comes, it comes anytime. Death is definite, as well as time of death is indefinite. Okay, you can die any moment. um, that's what he is saying in stanza 34. Okay, so in stanza 4, stanza 35, he says that he never thought that one day he will have to die and leave everything here. So, not knowing that, on being unknown to that fact, I committed several types of non-virtuous deed to make for the sake of my friends. Okay, but that awareness that I will one day die, leaving behind all the friends as well, families as well as enemies, all behind. I will die, and the only that goes with me is this mind, which is conditioned by the activities I did repeatedly, and that will make me take birth in any type of realms. Okay, so Acharya Sandideva is saying that, okay, I never realized that one day I will die, but I kept on doing, committing so many non-virtuous deeds for my friends as well as family, and as kept on, hurting so-called enemies. Um, but I never realized that one day I will go. That's what he's saying in stanza 35. Now let's go to stanza 36. Where he says that apriya navabhisyanti priyo me navabhinsi. Neither the enemy will live forever, nor my loved one will remain forever, as well as nor I will remain forever, and not and no one will live forever. Okay, so that's what he's saying in 36. And all those experience with the loved ones as well as the enemies, those experience are like a dream. Okay, they are finished. Okay, there's no more that experience. Once upon a time you experience those experiences with your loved ones as well as enemies, but like a dream, they are in your memories only now. There is nowhere to find. Okay, you can't find them again. You can't see those loved ones again once they are gone. You won't see those enemies once they are gone. Those experiences are gone now. There's only in the memory, like in a dream. You can't see them again. That's what he's saying in 37. um, In 38, he says, "Ihaiva tishtastavat gatanikai priya." While I'm staying here, there are several beings who are loved ones, who are my enemies, who I categorize as loved ones and enemies and strangers. They all are gone while I'm staying here. But the non-virtuous deed, uh, which I committed or which I did for them, is standing in front of me. You know? In very fearsome form. Okay, so that's what he is saying in stanza 38. So in stanza 39, he says that um, I am only a visitor. Evam agantuko smiti namaya pratyabheksitam. Okay, so I'm only a visitor here. Okay, I'm not going to stay here permanently. I'm just passing by here. I could not understand. I could not think in this way. So, out of ignorance, attachment, and anger, I committed several non-virtuous deeds for my family, I mean, for my family and loved ones. But those loved ones are not here. Neither those enemies are here. But whatever negative deeds I committed, the result of that negativity is standing in front of me now. Um, That is what Acharya Santideva is saying in these four stanzas. Okay, um, let's go to next stanzas. Okay, so here in stanza 40, he is taking life is as some spending as spend as money he says that day and night your spending of life is increasing ceaselessly. Okay, but there's no way to increase this life. You are spending, but you don't have income, but you just spending it day and night. That's what happening with your life too. Okay, so day and night ceaselessly the spending of life is increasing. There's no way the life will increase. Sorry, yeah, spending is increasing. There is no way you will increase your life. There's no income of life. And why would not I die? I will definitely die there because there's no way to increase the life. It's just the life spending of life is increasing. The lifespan is diminishing. That's what um, is the gist of this stanza. Okay. Iha saya gate napi bandhu madhye pitistata. In this deathbed, even though I'm surrounded by all the well wishers, okay, all the loved ones, all the friends and families, but the pain and suffering I accumulated by doing non-virtuous deeds in the past, I will have to bear that pain, that heart-rending pains myself. No, none of these well-wishers who are surrounding me, they can feel pity for me, but they won't be able to experience that pain. They won't be able to take that experience of pain for themselves. I am the one who will have to bear those pain, heart-rending pain. I will have to bear myself. That is what Acharya Santideva is saying in 41, stanza 41. Um, in stanza 42, "Emadutei grihitaste kuto bandhu kuto slit." So for the one who is already captured by the messenger death, okay, let's say I have written who for those who are taken by the messenger death. I think capture will be right word here. Let's change it. Captured. So in stanza 42, he says that for those who are captured by messenger of death, who are in deathbed, what is use of family and what is use of friends? Because they can't share your sorrow or suffering. Okay, at this time, at this moment of time, only the merits which I accumulated by doing the virtuous deeds can help me out of this great suffering. But I didn't earn those things. Okay, because of the ignorance, attachment, and angers. Okay, I kept on accumulating only negative deeds. But so those negative deeds are not helpful in at this moment of the death, nor those relatives and friends for the sake of whom I accumulated this negative deeds, result of this negative deeds. So at this moment of time, only my virtuous deed will be helpful um, to alleviate those great sufferings. But I didn't earn those. I could not earn those. Okay, so that's what he's saying in stanza 42. Um, in stanza 43, anitya jivita sangat idam bhayam ajanata. So asangat, asanga means attachment. Okay, so out of attachment to this fleeting life, okay, this life which is not permanent, out of attachment, unknown to this fear of death. I didn't when I was in my prime time. Okay, I was so arrogant, I was so ignorant about the death that I didn't think about the fear of this death, and I didn't think that this life is not permanent. It is just fleeting, and I'm just a visitor here. I want to stay here for forever. I didn't this thing. I didn't think about these things. So out of excitement, out of arrogance, I earned so many non-virtues. That's what he is saying in 43. He's confessing this thing in front of enlightened beings. Okay, always remember that. Let's go to next stanza. Angachedharthamapyadyam niyemano visusiti pipasito dina drishti anya devechidagat. So he says in this stanza 44, he says that even now, on being taken for amputation, if suppose if someone is, if your enemy is taking you for cut you into pieces, okay, some powerful person is taking you to cut you into pieces, then in those situations, even in this life also, you dry off. Okay, your mouth dries out of fear, and that to this thirsty and fearful eye, this very world appears very differently. That's what he's saying in 44. And then in stanza 45, he's saying what to say about the one who is captured by monstrous messenger of death. Okay, who is feverish and so much fearful that he is covered with his own excrement, due to fear. So you can imagine how much fearful that situation might be when someone is captured by monstrous looking messenger of death. um that's what he's saying in 45, stanza 45. um and then he's continuing is the same thing. He's continuing that um the person who is captured by the monstrous messenger of death, who is feverish and who is covered in own excrement out of fear, and who is looking for someone who will come and protect me, um, who is looking in every direction in the hope that someone will come and help me out of this situation, out of this mess. And then unable to beings unable to see anyone who is coming to protect him. He might get he's saying I might become unconscious. He's visualizing the situation, what might happen during the type of type of death of someone who has accumulated tremendous amount of non-virtues. He's visualizing those things. So someone who has committed so much of non-virtuous deed in the past will see monstrous size of messenger of death coming towards him to capture him, and the situation and the environment is so fearsome that they even defecate and then cover themselves with own excrement, unable to be unable to be stop on defecation, okay, out of fear, and then looking around for the refuge and for someone who can protect, and because he has committed so much non-virtuous deed that he can't see anyone coming for his rescue, and then he becomes unconscious again. And then what will I do in that type of situation, at that type of time, at the time of scare, of the scary experience in that scary place? What will I do? Because I have committed so much thing that no one will come to rescue me. So he is wondering that thing in stanza 24. Okay, and let's go to next stanza. So being fearful of those situations, now he is really fearful. Then now he says that I go for refuge to the Buddha, okay, who is the mighty Lord of the world, okay, who will dispel all the fears and who is actively working to save the world. So I go to such being, such enlightened being, who will dispel all my fears, who is working for me to get rid of get me out of the suffering of this world. So I go for the refuge to the Buddha. That's what he is saying in stanza 48. And then in 49, stanza 49, Taischape adigatam dharmam sansara bhayanasanam. He says that not only the Buddha, I go for the refuge to the dharma, which was realized by those enlightened beings, which is capable of removing the fear of the world, as well as I go for refuge to the Sangha of Bodhisattva from the bottom of my heart. Okay, not only by talk, but from the bottom of wholeheartedly, genuinely, I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, because only these are the ones who are capable of dispelling all the fears and getting you out of these suffering realms. That is the meaning of stanza 48 and 49. And then now he's from stanza 50, 51, 52, and 53. So he's reciting the name of prominent bodhisattvas. um, just for example, Samantabhadra. In stanza 50, he says, I offer myself to Samantabhadra as well as to Manjugosa, out of fear, as well as I call Arya Avalokiteswara too out of fear, who is desperately wandering in this world out of compassion. May the Arya Avalokiteswara, protect me, who is a evil doer, okay, who committed such non-virtuous deeds. May he protect me. That's what he's saying in stanza 51. Okay, and in stanza 52, he's calling out for the help to Akasgarbha and Siddhigarbha. So all of these are the bodhisattvas, okay, who has realized the bhumi or ground and path. As well as not only these bodhisattvas, I call out for help every compassionate ones, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Okay, that's what he's saying in stanza 52. Now, in stanza 53, he is calling out, he's prostrating to Vajrapani, mighty Vajrapani. Vajrapani, while Arya Avalokiteswara represents the compassion of the Buddha, the Vajrapani represents the strength of the Buddha. Okay, so it is said that he is saying that mere glare of whom, makes the evils such as, messenger of the death and others run with fear in every direction. Okay, so I prostrate such mighty Vajrapani Bodhisattva. That's what he's saying in stanza 53. Okay, so in stanza 54, he says, having transgressed your words in the past. Okay, so Bodhisattvas have been giving teaching, they have been coming to us as gurus and giving us teaching. Don't commit don't believe that you have soul inside you. Okay, this soul is making you believe, I mean, making you angry as well as attached to or something. But in fact, there is nothing that is permanent inside you. Okay, you are selfless. So this type of teachings they are telling us. Okay, they are coming to us again and again, taking reward in the form of different gurus. Okay, so these enlightened beings have been coming to us, but we didn't listen to them. We kept on, dividing people between, my friend, this is my friend, this is my enemy, this is a stranger, based on who? Based on this me and I. Because someone likes me, that becomes my friend. Because someone doesn't like me, that is my enemy. And because that person, I don't have to do anything with that person, that is stranger. So we are dividing and categorizing people based on my likes and dislikes. And then we are waging the wars to the so-called enemies to make our loved ones happy, and then enemy always doesn't remain enemy. They will turn into friends once they start liking us. All those ego boosting things is happening there, and then we are entangled in this drama of the world, that we transgressed the words of the Buddhas and gurus, due to which we are in now scary position. um, the result, the scary result has come in front of me, because I transgressed. I did not listen you what you're teaching. I didn't listen to you. Now I'm in this scary position. Okay, and then frightened by those results, I'm taking refuge in you finally. Okay, please remove all those fears as soon as possible. That's what he is saying in stanza 54. Okay, so now he says in 55, stanza 55, he's comparing the disease of this life, all type of diseases, diabetes, hypertension, all illness, as well as the disease of future suffering. So he's comparing those diseases. So he says that for the disease which are very small in this life, we don't transgress the words of doctors, doctors advice out of fear for the small diseases of this life. And how can someone who is suffering from 404 different types of diseases, okay, not only the physical disease, the mental, for physical disease and mental disease of this life only, but the future lives also, not follow the advice of Buddha, who knows the causes of such diseases. Okay, that's what he's saying in stanza 55. So we don't follow, transgress the doctor's advice out of fear. But how come we are not following the advice of the greatest doctor, Buddha, who knows the causes of all type of disease, different types of diseases? Okay, how can we not follow his advice? We are prone to suffering of different, he's saying 404 different types of diseases. So we are prone to this type of diseases. And how come we are not listening to the Buddha, who is a doctor, who is like a doctor, who knows the causes of all these diseases? That's what he's saying in stanza 55. Now stanza 56, he's saying that all the different type of diseases, uh, occurrence of, there are he has said that in previous stanza, there are 404 type of diseases. So he says that even occurrence of even one of these disease, you know, is enough to, wipe out entire life from this Jambu Deep. So the deep, the continent we are presently living is called as Jambu Deep. Okay, so he's saying that if even occurrence of even one of these diseases is enough to wipe out entire life in the Jambudip, the cure of which cannot be found anywhere. No one has capacity to find cure for those diseases. Only Buddha knows, you know, what is the cause of such pandemic, and what is who is capable. I know only Buddha is capable of uprooting all of those miseries. Even then, we are disgracing his words. Such omniscient physicians, which means Buddha. Okay, he is calling Buddha as omniscient physician. Okay, Sarvagya Vaidya and Sarvasalya Paharinam. Okay, he says that only Buddha is able to know what is the cause of such pandemic and how to, you know, uproot all those miseries. But still, we are transgressing his teaching. Shame on me. Shame on the ignorant being like me, who is fearful of small diseases and don't transgress the, prescription of doctors of this life, but not listening, transgressing the teaching of such omniscient physician who is capable of stopping those all type of pandemic, and then uprooting all those type of miseries. Same on me. That's what he's saying in stanza 57. Okay, and then in stanza 58, he says, Ataya pramata tistami prapati tu storipi. I become very careful while I'm near, slight uneven ground in the fear that I will fall down. Okay, um, let's add here something in the fear I will fall down. Okay, even if we see that there is some uneven, ground there, I become very alert. Okay, so that I don't fall down. But what to say about falling from more dangerous 1,000-mile steep cliffs forever? So here he is metaphorically saying that if you fall in the, hell beings realm, hungry ghost realms, um, and then animal realms, then it is like falling from more dangerous, very high steep hill cliffs forever. So why should not we be careful, um, you know, of being fearful of falling on such type of cliffs? We are fearful of a small type of, uneven ground, but we are not fearful of falling from more dangerous type of cliffs, steep cliffs, where if you fall down, it's like you are falling there forever. Getting out of that, um, that place, once you fall from the such type of cliff, is very difficult. That's what his metaphor. This is the metaphor for falling to the lower realms. Okay, that's what he's saying in stanza 58. Okay, so we should be more careful of our non-virtuous deed we commit through body, speech, and mind towards what you call merit fields, especially like Triratnas and parents as well as gurus. um, we should be fearful of the action, negative action we keep on doing, repeating again and again. We should be fearful of the negative action we do with intense emotions, because they will lead us to or drag us towards the hell. And once you are in the hell, you are like falling from the steep cliff, getting off from that deep cliff, cliff bottom is very difficult. Getting out from that hill realm, hungry ghost realm, is like very difficult. Okay, like falling from the very tall, steep cliffs. Okay, so let's go to next stanza, um, 59, where he says, Adaiva maranam naiti nayukta me sukhasiva. So it is not good to live carelessly, thinking that I won't die right now. Okay, most of us are living like that. We are just relaxed in our world, thinking that death will happen to someone else, not me. Okay, but in front of us, so many people has, so many young people, healthy people have died. So you never know. Definitely there will be time when I won't be here. So it's not, that's why it's not really not good to live life carefully, I mean carelessly. That's what he's saying in stanza 50, 59. Okay, let's go to next stanza, 60. Here he says, Avayam khena me dattam nisarisyami va katham avasyam na bhavisyami kasmat me sustita mana. So he is wondering, what is giving me such fearlessness? What is giving me? Let's move this. Remove this sauce. There's no sauce there. Okay, what is giving me fearlessness? Okay, how will I get out from this suffering? Definitely, I won't be here forever. How is my mind relaxed? That's what he's wondering. Okay, I have committed so many non-virtuous deeds in the past. Definitely, I will suffer in the future. And then death is, certain, but I can die anytime. It's not like death will wait me till I get old or till I finish my things. Um, I can die anytime. How come I so relaxed? How come my mind is so relaxed? He's wondering. He's talking to himself. Okay, in stanza 60. पूर्वानुभूत नष्टेव्य किम्मे सारं व्यवस्थितम् येषु मे विनिविष्टेन gurudam langi gatam bacha. Okay, so whatever experience I experienced in the past, that has already finished, and there is not no essence left in that. There's nothing left there now. It's only in the memory. That's already finished. But due to my indulgence to those experience, I ignore guru's advice, Buddha's advice, Buddha's teachings. um, so that's what he's saying in stanza 61. Okay, due to my indulgence to those happy feelings, happy experience, in the hope of getting happy experience from my loved ones, um, I ignore guru's advice. But those experiences now past, finished. There's nothing left in those there, only just memories left. So leaving behind all these walls as well as all the relatives and acquaintance, I will go to anywhere alone. So what is the use of loved and unloved ones for me? So now he is realizing, okay, whatever I did for my loved and loved ones, everyone is, life is fleeting, everyone is dying, everyone will die definitely. I will also die, and those experience also finish. They don't live, the experience are also not permanent. They happened once upon a time, but there's only memory now. So there's no any essence left here. So there's no point of now getting surrounded and getting in this drama of this world of pleasing loved ones and hating unloved ones, or dividing the beings as loved ones and unloved ones and strangers. I will just leave everything, okay, and then go in somewhere alone, okay. And then in that alone place, I think, I worry about how do the definite result of past negative virtues did be nullified. This contemplation, this worry is beneficial for me day and night. So I will leave everything behind and then go in some secluded place and then think about how to nullify my past non-virtuous deed. So such worry about, worrying about your loved ones is now not beneficial for me. The thing or the thought which is more beneficial for me day and night is the thought or the contemplation about how do this definite result of past non-virtuous deed be nullified. Okay, so that's what he is saying. Now he is determined to, get rid of, get away from all those dramas of life, and then go in the secular place, and then, do the, listen the teaching, contemplate the teaching, and then meditate on the teaching and Guru's advice. That's what he is determined to do in this stanza 63. Okay, and then let's go to the last three stanzas of this chapter, where in stanza 64 he says, Maya balena mudena et kinchit papam nachitam. Okay, so whatever pap means sin, whatever non-virtuous sin or non-virtuous deeds, whatever non-virtuous, achitam means accumulated. Okay, um, whatever non-virtuous deed were accumulated by, you know, um, yeah, maya balena mudena means me who is ignorant, witless. Okay, I don't have mind. No, I'm like a childish mind, who collected all those non-virtuous deeds. Okay, so whatever type of non-virtuous deeds. Okay, so in this stanza he's talking about two different types of non-virtuous deeds. Okay, one is those type of non-virtuous deed which is by nature is negative. It doesn't matter whether you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist. If you commit those type of negative deeds, those are negative. Okay, doesn't matter who is committing. So this is called prakriti. um, okay, so any type of 10 non-virtuous deed we talked about previously, which can be committed through body, speech, and mind. So those non negative deeds are by nature negative, as well as there are other negative deeds, um, especially to who has, formally taken refuge to the Buddha Dharma and Sangha and gurus. If they break the vows, those are also considered as negative deeds. Okay, so pragyapti and then prakriti. So those two type of negative deeds. So whatever type of negative deeds, be it the negative deeds which are naturally non-virtuous, as well as breaking of any vows, I that's what he's saying in 64. And then in 65 he's confessing those two type of negativities in front of enlightened beings. How he's confessing them by becoming fearful and remorseful and saddened and then he's folding his hand and he's prostrating to in front of enlightened beings and confessing them in front of enlightened beings. Okay, so here, okay, we commit the negative deeds in three ways, three doors. We say first door is body, second door is speech, and the third door, well, actually mind should be first door because everything starts in the mind. So first door is mind, and then that will spill into speech, and then that will spill into body. Okay, so you commit the non-virtuous deed in by three ways or three doors: mind, speech, and body. So while you confessing, so you have to confess similarly through your mind, through your speech, and through your body. Okay, so how you confess through your mind? If you are remorseful, if you are fearful, if you regret something, if you are sad of whatever you did, then that is the confession done by your mind. Okay, and then how do you confess your negative deeds through your speech? Then whatever recitation you do, for example, you are reciting the three skanda sutras, okay, the three hip sutras, or if you are reciting the vajra sattva mantra, okay, any mantra, or especially Bodhisattva mantra, okay, then you are confessing through, or you, if you are reciting these stanzas also, okay, you are verbally aloud, then those are like confessing your non-virtuous deeds, you know through your speech. And how do you confess through your body? So folding your, with your folding hand, you are prostrating, you are circumambulating any choices, then those are the confession done by your body. Okay, so stanza 65, in stanza 65, with folded hand, fearful, saddened, and being with remorse, being forceful, fearful, with fearful mind, saddened mind, remorseful mind, he is folding his hand and prostrating again and again. um, so that's how he is in this stanza 65, is prostrating, or he's confessing through his mind and body. And stanza 66 is confessing with his speech. He says, "O master, please accept my negative conduct as negative. I will not repeat such non-virtuous deeds again and again. Again, I won't repeat this type of non-virtuous deed." Okay. Abhadra kamidam natha nakartavyam punamaya. So with folded hand, with prostration, with sad mind, he is confessing through body, speech, and mind. Okay. So in this way, we see that from stanza 28 to this stanza 66, he is really remorseful of what happened in the past, and he's saying that he won't repeat those things, and then he's taking refuge in all the enlightened beings. Okay, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, he recited the name, all Samantabhadra, Manjusri, Aryavullikiteswara, Akasagarbha, Chiti-garbha, Vajrapani. So he confessed, and he gave himself, he offered himself to those beings so that they can show him the path out of this suffering. And then he is saying that he won't do those type of negative deeds again and again. So in this way, this confession has all three limbs of confession. Okay. um, so as I said, this confession is the third limb of the seventh limb pair. So there are seven limb pairs, I mean seven limb of the correct pair or correct homage to the Buddha and Bodhisattva, as well as there are three limbs of confession. So don't get confused with these numbers. Okay. So we finish first three limbs of the prayer, and then in this, so which were like praising the qualities of Buddha, Bodhisattva, Bodhicitta. Number one limb was that. And number two limb was doing pujas, offering different things, different types of material to Buddha and Bodhisattvas. That was the second limb, and the third limb was the confession. Okay, so these are the three out of seven limbs prayer of the Buddha and Bodhisattva. So if any of the limb is missing from the prayer, then that is not the Samyak puja, okay, correct puja. So in order to be any puja in Mahayana to be Samyak or correct, then you should have seven limbs. So these three limbs, we have the first three limbs of the Samyak puja or correct homage, we have completed. Now, and the confession was the confession was the third limb, and that this confession had three limbs, which was being remorseful, making resolution that you won't repeat them, and then taking refuge to the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Okay, so that ends the chapter second of the book written by Acharya Santideva. So next chapter is the third chapter in which we see remaining four limbs of the Samyak Puja of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas, where he Acharya Santa, we see Acharya Santideva is rejoicing all the virtuous deeds done by all the beings, and then he will briefly talk about all the in when you do confession of your negativities, when you remember you already committed the non-virtuous deed in the past. Okay, there is the result of those non-virtuous deed you have already accumulated. Now, how do you reduce the result of those negative deeds? Right, okay, you can't change your past action; it has gone already, but the future hasn't come when you have to bear the result of those negativity. So there is present moment here. So how do you make sure that those result is not won't strike you so hard? So how do you know make sure that? So here the answer is that you do exactly opposite of the sin you have committed in the past. So how do you know what you have committed in the past and what type of negative sin or non-virtuous deed you have committed? That go through the pattern of your life, the type of suffering you are going through present shows that what type of negative deed you did in the past. So if you want to nullify those result, the experience, those pattern, if you want to erase those pattern, do exactly opposite. For example, um, if you are poor, that means that in the past you must have steal someone's money. Okay, so in this life, that's why you are poor. So how do you nullify that pattern now? No matter what you do, you are still poor. You never get money. So that means that pattern, you have to read the pattern of your life and then understand. Okay, this is the result of my this non-virtuous deed. So what you do now, you keep go on, doesn't matter how poor you are, you keep on giving, donating other people. You don't need to donate $1,000 you just whatever you have, just divide it and give it to them. Just little bit, 1/10 of your whatever you are earning. Or okay, physically if you can't give, just mentally pretend that you have collected all the beautiful things. I don't know how many of you know mandala offering. You visualize things, sun and then moon and then hearts and then elephants. You visualize you just offer it to Buddha and Bodhisattva. Just do that. Okay, so you don't, if you are poor, then you can visualize things and then you just pretend that, mentally you can just offer it. Offer the smile. Okay, give reassurance, save people's life. These are all donation. So if you are poor, if you want to get rid of those things, though your poverty, get out of from this poverty situation, then you just do exactly opposite of the non-virtuous deed you might have done in the past, a result of that which you are bearing in this in this life. So you need to learn the pattern of the suffering you are going through this life. Okay, and then do exactly opposite. That's how you will be nullifying. So you will see in next stanzas, Acharya Santideva is doing that. Okay, he will saying that, may I be food for these people, may I be you know bed for these people, may I be light for these people, whoever wants light, whatever people like, may I be that thing. So that's how he is nullifying the negative past negative deeds. um, and then we will see that it's really a beautiful chapter. And then in that stanza he will take that bodhicitta vow that he will become Buddha one day to help um, every beings. Okay, and we will take that vows along with Acharya Santideva's stanza. Okay, so that's all for today. You keep yourself happy, keep yourself safe, don't hurt anyone, don't think that you are poor. You can visualize elephant and then offer to Buddha and Bodhisattvas if you don't have money. So be happy. Okay, Bhavatu Sarva Mangalam.